Myrtle Beach now has a new resource for mental health in the community. A grand opening takes place today for the Living Water Mental Health Brain Treatment Center.
And ABC 15's Amanda Kinzith is live at the center this morning, telling us more on how it'll provide first of its kind treatment for the Grand Strand.
Yes, here we are, and I have to say, when I heard about this place, I was fascinated and also clueless. So tell me, what is going on here? I mean, I see, you've got people here, you've got the scene, it looks like.
Yes, of course.
So what is this? So talk about what you guys do.
So we are Living Water Mental Health Brain Treatment Center, a nonprofit mental health clinic, and we have here TMS, transcranial magnetic stimulation, which is the most advanced breakthrough drug-free medical device treatment for behavioral health issues, including depression and OCD.
Okay.
So you cannot get a more advanced treatment right now for depression, OCD, anxiety in the United States, if not the world, than transcranial magnetic stimulation, and right now Myrtle Beach has it.
So walk me through, what do you do? So somebody comes in and sits down?
Well, we do an evaluation to make sure that someone is the right fit, certainly make sure that they are medically clear. They have to be prescribed. So we work with a great psychiatrist who's a leading mind in transcranial magnetic transcranial magnetic stimulation.
That's a lot. It's a word
earlier.
Right?
His name is Dr. Owen Meir, and he also works with our clinical partners, Breakthrough 6. And through the prescription and through the diagnostic process, he recommends if you're a candidate for TMS. And the way it works is actually, the first day is we do something called brain mapping. So I'm going to have you come right over here.
Okay.
And I don't want to mess up your hair too much here, unless you're okay with that.
I'm absolutely okay with that.
Okay, so what we would do is we would have you sit in the chair.
Okay.
And once you are prescribed this treatment, we put on this really cool looking cap for you, by the way.
All right.
All right, so I didn't size you perfectly, so it's going to be a little bit out here. And so what we do with this cap is, and I'm going to do a pretty quick version of it, so I tell all of our patients, I promise it'll be a little bit longer than this when we actually go through it. But what we do is we put this grid, and then we have a chin strap, which we can leave the chin strap off for now if you'd like. So what we do is with this cap, we actually start marking where the motor strip is in your brain. And everyone's a little bit different, although most people are kind of around this line here in the middle. And then once we identify where the motor strip is in your brain, we have a formula which is about 6 centimeters towards your nose on where the area of your brain depression lives. So your depression treatment with these devices will be different than mine or my colleague Robert's or anyone else who's here.
Huh.
And so what we would do then, and I'm not going to do this, I promise you, is that we would get you all nice and tight.
You're going to put it over my mouth.
Exactly. That's a great way to do a segment, is prevent you from talking.
Yes.
Very cool. And the health center is located on London Street.
The grand opening will take place this morning at 9 a.m. Myrtle Beach now has a new resource for mental health in the community. A grand opening takes place today for the Living Water Mental Health Brain Treatment Center.
ABC 15's Amanda Kinzith is live at the center for us this morning, telling us more on how it'll provide first of its kind treatment for the Grand Strand.
That's right. Yeah, we're talking about brain treatments here. It helps with depression,
OCD,
and I don't know what I look like, but I have a map on my head, or you're doing some brain mapping. Walk me through. What are we doing?
Yeah, so you have a grid on your head. What makes TMS such an incredibly effective treatment is that the treatment is actually customized to your specific physiology. So how we start the treatment is we want to understand where your motor threshold or your motor strip is, and then there is a formula on where we treat based upon where the center of your motor strip is. So we're going to put this helmet right down here. Okay. Get this right lined up. Right about there. Okay, how's that feel?
Like a helmet?
Like a helmet. All right, so I'm going to ask you to put your hands out. Okay, so put your hands out. And what we're going to look for right here is we're just going to look for a reaction in your... So relax your hands. There we go. We're just going to look for a little reaction right here in the right fingertip. So here we go. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we did not get a reaction from you, which means we are going to increase our threshold. Okay. Did you feel that at all, or was it just a little knocking?
I felt, a tap in my head.
That's exactly right. Okay, so put your hands out. Okay, here we go. Okay, we got a little bit of a movement there. So what we're going to do is now we're going to move the helmet back as we try to get our coordinates down.
So is this like when the doctor hits your knee and your leg kicks out?
That is exactly right. That's a perfect example. So we're going to watch that hand again. Ready? Okay. So that was a little bit more of a reaction.
It moved? I can't even tell.
It was very subtle. So now we're going to go up to 9. Okay, I'm going to watch that right hand, make it nice and easy. Okay, so what happened here was you had the larger reaction in 8 and a lesser reaction in 9. So 8 is the center of your motor strip. So
that's also my lucky number.
Yeah, how about that? Your brain and the mapping knows here. So what we're going to do now is 8 is going to be where we're going to start your positioning. Okay? And so now what we're going to do is the goal of TMS is to give you the absolute minimum amount of electromagnetic stimulation possible to get a response. And the way we do that is we try to get a movement in your right hand 50% of the time. Okay, so we now know we got a movement with 55. So I'm going to go down, and we have a certain formula of how we much go down. So put your hand out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you up to 6 taps, and I'm going to see if that hand can move 3 times, okay? So just rest it right here on your leg. There you go. Perfect. Nice and comfortable. Okay, so here we are on 8.
Fascinating stuff, and that center is located on London Street.
The grand opening will take place this morning at 9. Myrtle Beach now has a new resource for mental health in the community. A grand opening takes place today for the Living Water Mental Health Brain Treatment Center.
And ABC 15's Amanda Kinzith is live at the center for us this morning, telling and even showing us more on how it'll provide first-of-its-kind treatment.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so here we are. So we've done motor testing, and then now this is kind of like what the treatment would be like. Basically, you guys can help people with OCD or depression through this whole device thing.
That's about right. So we'll give you a little bit of a sample just so you know what you're experiencing. Ready? Mm-hmm. How did that feel?
I could barely feel it.
Okay, so I'm going to give you 2 more. And 1 more. So you just got 3 pulses, and you typically have about 6, and then those pulses would make up the treatment, which would be about 8.5 minutes of sitting under this. The only difference it would be a little bit more rapid, and then you'd have a break every 20 seconds.
Okay. And this has had some great results. I mean, you're just trying to help people feel better, right?
Actually, I have with me our clinical partner, Robert, who is a big part of how we're here and able to deliver this kind of technology. Why don't you talk about the results real quickly?
We're getting, by taking these protocols, we're getting roughly 79% full remission for depression. That means not depressed anymore. Now, that particular protocol, what we're doing is we're finding which network in your brain actually holds the depression, and then we have a treatment set based on your particular individual needs.
And I think the other thing I would say to you as well is that because this is not medicinal, there are no side effects. You can come here for treatment, and you can drive yourself home, you can go to work, you can be with your family, you can come in at 7 and be at your desk at 8, and the average course of treatment is about 36 treatments. So for some people it's 1 a day, some it's 2 a day, but you could pretty much so have your depression significantly reduced, if not wiped out, over the course of 18 to 36 days.
Wow. Just think if we could do that to everyone. And you get a really cool hat. I mean, it is getting cold outside.
And you get to keep that hat.
Woo!
And the health center is located on London Street.
The grand opening will take place this morning at 9. Myrtle Beach now has a new resource for mental health in the community. A grand opening takes place today for the Living Water Mental Health Brain Treatment Center.
ABC 15's Amanda Kinzith has been live for us at the center this morning to tell us more on how it'll provide first-of-its-kind treatment for the Grand Strand.
Yeah, it's a really cutting-edge technology that you guys have brought right here to Myrtle Beach. And this is a demo. This isn't actually what I had on, but
yes.
You know, you basically put on this helmet. You guys go, test stuff, and the outcome can be relieving depression.
That's right.
Or relieving OCD.
Our goal is remission. With each patient that comes in, we start from a period of how do we get remission, and then we walk our way back from there. Not everyone will get there, but how do we get you as close to it? How do we get remission for a majority of patients? And how do we help people live healthier lives?
Yeah, and some of the insurances already cover this.
Yes, that's exactly right. So we do accept Cigna. We also accept TRICARE, and we are in the process of expanding the number of carriers that we do take. So we're working on all of that. But because we're a nonprofit, we also have a very generous financial hardship policy at virtually every income level. So if someone is interested, there is a request for consultation button on the website. You put all that information in, and we will try to find a way to accommodate as much as possible, not only from the financial or insurance perspective, but also from the scheduling perspective.
Yeah, so this is really a great opportunity, especially for people who've been battling depression and haven't been able to overcome it. This is a new modality that they can try, and I love some of the things that you have. You had people coming up with a problem, and it turned out to be really fascinating what it was.
Well, as we continue to do these studies, even though it's FDA approved, we continue to do all sorts of studies. We have to report our side effects, and we started getting facial pain as a side effect. We couldn't figure out why. Well, it turns out that's because people who haven't smiled in 20 years suddenly couldn't stop. Now, when I hear that, that's why this became my mission.
I love that. That makes me smile. It's like I understand, because like when we do the parades and have to wave, like yeah. But these people that haven't smiled in so long started to smile. That's amazing.
And if you're interested, that health center is located on London Street.
And the grand opening is this morning at 9.